Hey, you all ready for this? Hello, track gang. I should have changed shirts, but that's okay. The other one's in the, in the laundry. Evening, track gang. It happens to be Monday, the 22nd. Yep. Of February 2021. This happens to be vlog number 8. Welcome aboard. Interesting thing here with vlog 8 before I go too much further. I actually started recording this Wednesday, Thursday last week, I guess it was, probably more Wednesday. But I was having issues with the camera. It didn't seem like it wanted to record. I was hitting the record button, it wasn't recording. So I got frustrated with it and I just stepped away and, well, we're back at it. What was I doing? Well, there really isn't much of an update this week. But I wanted to kind of show the op sessions and how the railroad is running now that I have the main lines with the the Woodland Snakes foam roadbed, and the passenger terminal with the cork road, the sheet cork. And I just wanted to see how things were running. I found some issues, of course. The first one, which was not so much of a surprise, but it ended up being what it was. I had mentioned in vlog 7 that I had gone and bought shims to put underneath the track over here in the passenger terminal, or what will be the passenger terminal, to make up the difference between the sheet cork and the Woodland Snakes foam roadbed. The problem is I had to cut them down to where they were. I mean, I don't think I've got any of it sitting out because I actually ended up reusing it anyway. But it was, well, here's one of the shims. Basically, that was all that I had of the shim was up top. That was it. It was just way too short. So what I ended up doing instead was taking some of the sheet cork and cutting it into strips and putting that up underneath, and then took the ends of this and put that further away from the foam roadbed, which seems to have worked rather well. To this point, knock on wood, you know, I've already gone halfway through the op session, and I haven't had any issues in the passenger terminal. I did last night, or actually it was Saturday night, I had an issue in the RBC distribution. I ran one of the locals. I had an issue with the switch that's actually in the backdrop. It's actually on the hidden yard side of things, but there's a switch back there, and what happened when I laid the main lines back down, things got a little out of sync back there. And not only that, but I forgot to tack everything back down, which meant it was moving. So here it is, I'm trying to back a train in there, and it's moving the tracks instead of the cars going across it. The cars were actually moving the track. So I got that straightened out. Weichert Industrial was another little idiosyncrasy. Same type of deal. When I laid the main lines down, things didn't line up the way that they were when it came up to be able to put the roadbed down. So I had to make some minor modifications over there to get that straightened out. That's working. Believe it or not, but the yard lead into Boeville, I didn't have to do anything with. That actually worked as advertised. Yay me! So 1 for 4, woo! So that is pretty much where I'm at the moment. I'm getting ready to finish, or not finish, but I'm going to go ahead and run some more of the op session. I've actually, as you saw last night, I was on Jason's live stream. We were talking about era-specific stuff. And it's kind of funny. I'm going to go ahead and jump into that real quick for a moment. I have, or when I was building this railroad, the 13 foot by 11, not this particular one, but the 13 foot by 11 before this, I had gotten into trying to find out how much of my rolling stock was going to fit the era that I had. And if you remember correctly, I think my 100, my 200, and my 300 subscriber contests, I gave away some more modern cars or rolling stock because they didn't fit the era that I was in, or the paint schemes were wrong. I got rid of a Penn Central boxcar, and I'll be back up just a minute on that one. The era that I'm running is 1950 to 1970. I understand, or the early 1970s, and I understand that Penn Central came about around that time frame, the late 60s, early 70s. I also run chassis system, which really to a point I'm really looking at the Baltimore and Ohio, the Chesapeake and Ohio, and the Western Maryland. I happen to like the chassis paint scheme. I wasn't a real fan of the Pennsylvania or the Penn Central paint scheme. It was a neat paint scheme, but it just wasn't what I was, like I said, I like the Pennsylvania. I'm going to let my Pennsylvania freak flag fly here. But, you know, there were certain, one of the things that I guess I've learned over the years, and especially from Model Railroader, was you can go ahead and be dead on specific to an era. That's up to you. If you want to bend things a little bit, maybe steam lasted a little bit longer, passenger service, i.e. what I've got, you know, I don't have Amtrak on this layout. I've got the actual, you know, Southern and the Pennsylvania and the Baltimore and Ohio and so on and so forth. So I've kind of stretched things and bent things a little bit because that's what I wanted. I like the Pennsylvania. I like the Baltimore and Ohio. I like the chassis system. I like the Chesapeake and Ohio, the Western Maryland, so on and so forth. However, when it came to the box cars and the refrigerator cars and the flat cars and gondola cars and things of that nature, I wanted to make sure that I stayed pretty much era specific. I wanted to stay within that 1950s to early 1970s time frame. Yeah, I kind of do sneak out of that just a little bit. I do have a BQ 23.7, which that locomotive came out after 1975. I understand that. Most of the stuff that you see on my layout will be pre-1975, going back to about 1950, 1945. It's a wide area. I'll give it that. It's a wide scheme. It's a wide area. You'll see first and second generation diesels. You will not see an SD70 Ace going down my layout. It won't happen. Or a Mac, or whatever they call themselves these days. You know, the GPs and the BLs and things of that nature, those early first and second generation locomotives, that's what's on here. And I try to stay pretty much in that time frame, or with that equipment. I had a newer SD40-2 that was painted for the CSX, but that motor burned up, and I ended up parting that out for another locomotive, so that's still sitting back here in a box in pieces. But like I said, you know, this is what I wanted. So, you know, if the prototype or the rivet counters would come out, they would probably have a conniption fit in the field day. Well, that's their problem, not mine. You know, I'm proto-lancing here. So anyway, that's basically all I've got on that. And as you, like I was getting to before, as you saw, I did have obviously I've got Blackjack running. It's become my new favorite. It's become my new favorite locomotive, thanks to the Sidetrack Sunday crew. So what do you say we go ahead and we swing the camera and go ahead and get some shots here of the railroad running, and we'll go from there. So we'll be back. Well, this ought to be somewhat fascinating. Sorry for the jump there. I noticed the other night when I was messing around down here that I actually got ahead of myself and built the local from Boeville to Richmond before the Boeville train actually got here. So I got to get this dude out of the way. Before the Richmond to Boeville freight train comes in. And I expected that, so I just got to go up here. And Logitech rail fan, there's your GP9. That you were asking about the other day. Actually, in vlog 7, Logitech rail fan had asked me about the locomotive sitting in the yard, and well, now you get a chance to see it up close. Believe it or not, but that is an old Bachmann unit. I don't know if I should try this or not. Not bad for moving the whole tripod. But in a minute, we're going to have another train coming up. Now that he's cleared, and I know why this thing is jumpy. It's because of the fact that I forgot to lock it down. I just hope I went ahead and put that train together, because if I didn't, then I'm going to have to wing it. Looks like I'm going to have to wing it, because I did not put it together. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to stop here for a minute. Alright, having to go ahead and do it this way is a bit of a bear. I'll give it that. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, so you got to see a little bit of a mini op session, if nothing else. Just a reminder that this coming Sunday, which happens to be the 28th, is Sidetrack Sunday number 4 for the month of February for 2021. Happens to be on my channel, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to go over a few things, namely going off of some of the comments that have cropped up off the after Vlog 7 about DC wiring for track power and how it works. I'm going to go ahead and pull out some of my old track and just give you a quick overview of what has been done specifically with the passenger terminal. So that'll be this coming Sunday, February the 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, speaking of passenger terminals, going off of what Jason started last night, I think I'm going to go ahead and, since I have a boatload of passenger trains, we're going to go ahead and do a quick touch on passenger cars. And we'll go from there. But you all know the deal. You wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all next time. Be safe. God bless. We will see ya.